Because this story, big story, broke yesterday. Actor Alec Baldwin, did you hear? He's going to be charged with involuntary manslaughter. This is really wild. This is all related to the fatal shooting of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Now, this incident actually happened back on October 2021. They were on a New Mexico set of the film Rust. Baldwin is also a producer on that film. Now, the weapons specialist on set is also being charged. Yeah. Now, just for clarity, in the U.S., involuntary manslaughter can involve a killing that happens while the defendant is doing something lawful but dangerous and is acting negligently or without caution. So if convicted, charges are punishable by up to 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Okay, so there's a lot of specifics in this case. It is a tragedy. Let's kick this off, Jess. You know, what do you make of this? It's rippling around the world.
Well, the fact that there are so many lawsuits that have resulted from this film tells you a lot. And it tells me that we might not get the answers that we're looking for. But I do remember Simon went to the Canadian Film Centre and studied there. And I remember him coming home one day and saying, did you know that if an actor's just walking along a creek or a lake, the film is obligated to bring in a stunt coordinator? And I was like, really? Like just walking along a creek? Yes, film sets are generally probably one of the safest places that you can be, or they're supposed to be by design. The unions are very strong. All of the jobs are delineated very, very clearly. So I understand when Alec Baldwin says, it was not my job to check that gun. They literally had an armorist, is the position that it's called, whose job, and she, as you said in your intro, is also being charged for the negligence. Or manslaughter, sorry. So it was her job to check, and she says she did check. And then it was also the assistant director's job, and he said it was all clear. And so it's just, and I keep going back to, why were there real bullets on a movie set?
Yeah.
That does not make sense. I don't think that's a trend that we're seeing. Why were they there in the first place?
I think it matters. Like, yeah, it seems weird that an actor is being called out. The thing is that he wasn't just an actor, he's an actor-producer.
Right.
And so he bears a different level of responsibility. There were, I think, 5 other producers on this, so I don't know why they aren't being called out, because producers do make a lot of decisions.
They're being called out in other lawsuits, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Here's the thing, though. There's a lot of red flags on this set. At least 6 camera operators walked out just hours before this incident happened. They complained about a number of things, including the fact that they felt that the gun safety issue was an issue for them. And at least one incident of a prop gun misfiring happened the week before this happened. So this was a low-budget film. They replaced a lot of the union actors who walked out with non-union people, I feel like. So to go back to your point, like, I think there was a lot of stuff going on, and I would be surprised if Alec wasn't aware of in a smaller set with crew in the role that he was in.
The role of the producer is to really
be aware.
Control the money.
Yeah, right.
And unfortunately, what sort of the buck stops at a very tragic circumstance, because really they were saving money by cutting corners.
That's right.
And this cutting corner resulted in this loss of life. And something can be an accident and be criminal. Like that can exist.
It's hard to wrap your mind around, but it is absolutely true.
It is. And there is a part of me, I mean, I know he's an actor, and I know, like you're saying, Jess, you know, the roles are very defined on sets to the point where you can't even try to do someone else's job, you know, without kind of coming in cross with the union. But he is a human being.
Yeah.
Holding a gun of some kind. I just for my own self, if I picture myself in that scenario, I would have hesitance. Even if I'm supposed to trust everyone that has come before me, if I have a gun that is prop, I know it was told it was cold, but if I have one and I'm pointing it in the vicinity of another human being, I think my humanity comes up over my actor role, and perhaps I, you know, give that another check. Just putting myself in that scenario, I feel like I would. Regardless of what the rules are, just the human rule, you know, just check it.
I know exactly what you're saying, and then on the other hand, I could see something with the complete opposite perspective, which is, if you're an actor and you've been getting into your character all day, maybe you're method acting, right? So you've been in your trailer, you're getting ready for a really big scene, you would be breaking your preparation as an actor by saying, oh, hold on a second, let me check the gun. Hold on, before we start shooting. And so that is why you have all these people with these jobs, so that the actor, in that moment, he was just the actor in that moment, can just act, if that makes sense. Because if someone says to you, cold gun, and I trust you, I trust that you and everybody else who needs to check is giving me a gun that is safe, so that I can be fully in my role. So I can be fully present. So when I mean, just the thought, I'm not a gun person, so even just the idea that you're right, pick up a gun, but he's an actor. And if you feel like it's empty, it's safe, the script said, pick up gun and shoot it.
Yeah, he did.
He picked up the gun and he shot it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he killed somebody. I just don't know how this justifies this charge. I don't get it.
Well, if we look to her husband, who, I mean, I can't imagine, you know, his devastation, he did say that the idea that the person holding the gun and causing it to discharge is not responsible is absurd to me. And there is some...
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that. It's so
very
complicated.
More CGI guns in the future.
Yes.
Rubber guns.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.